Welcome back again. This is Nicole from Wildflower Valley Farm. Today I'm going to talk to you about kombucha. I like to brew my own kombucha. If you're not familiar with what that is, it is a fermented tea. It is typically made from black tea. Whatever your favorite black tea is would work beautifully for this. Some people like to use green tea. Some people like to use a combination of both. I use just your basic grocery store black tea, the kind that just says iced tea on the box. It's usually an orange pico. I'm not positive I'm pronouncing that correctly, but just your basic black tea that you would make iced tea from. I like to use that. I also think, I haven't tried it yet, but I also think that it would be delicious if you wanted to use maybe Earl Grey or English breakfast or something like that for your base black tea as well. But basically you just brew whatever your favorite black tea is, mix it with your starter culture, and your starter culture is, sometimes you can get some from a friend. You'll hear people call it a scoby. It is that combination of bacteria and yeast and beneficial probiotics, and it's just kind of all combined together. It's similar to, if you've ever heard of somebody mention, apple cider vinegar with the mother. The mother is that, like I said, that bacteria and yeast. It's all good bacteria, good yeast, good probiotics. It's just that mixture of live cultures that makes, the vinegar become vinegar, or that makes your kombucha become the fermented kombucha. But before you can ferment your own, you need that scoby. If you have a friend that brews their own, they can give you some. Every time you brew a new batch, you'll have a new scoby that will form. If you don't have any friends or neighbors nearby that make their own, then you can buy it online, or you can actually make your own from store-bought kombucha. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. I did have a scoby colony going where I was, brewing my own kombucha, but something about the last batch that I did contaminated it, and it began to get mold on it. And once that happens, the whole batch is contaminated. You have to throw it out. You can't salvage it. So unfortunately, I'm starting from scratch again, but it gave me a good opportunity to show you guys how to do your own. So basically, I just have a bottle of store-bought kombucha. It's best to use the GT's brand. This is not sponsored. I don't have any preference for this brand, but from what is available at the store, in my experience, this brand is the best for starting your own scoby if you're needing to start from scratch from a store-bought kombucha. It doesn't matter what flavor you have. I actually picked the one that looked like it had the most mother in the bottom of the bottle. That's how I decided what flavor to buy. You just need that. You need an empty, clean glass jar. Open your bottle. Oh, it's going to run over. You shouldn't shake this because it is naturally carbonated, but I'm going to turn it over and just swirl it a little bit just to make sure that all of that mother is stirred up and mixed up into, I'm going to make a mess is what I'm going to do, but I want all of that into the liquid here. Open it slowly so I don't spill it. Literally all you do is pour it into your glass jar here. Try not to run it over. Grab a dishcloth here and wipe up this mess that I have made while I'm waiting on those bubbles to settle. For the sake of time, I'm not going to make y'all watch me wait on these bubbles to go down. But basically, I'm just going to pour all of this into this jar, put a plastic lid on it. As much as I'm trying to get plastic out of our household, there's just some things that I haven't found a good replacement for yet. A canning jar, regular canning jar lid will fit too tightly. You want this to be able to breathe just a little bit so that any gases that are created as it is fermenting can escape. But you'd want to make sure that it's covered so nothing can get in it. But I'm just going to pour all of this in this jar, put a lid on it, put it in a warm place and let it sit until a SCOBY forms. Depending on the temperature in your house, it might take a week, it might take a month, or anywhere in between. The last time I started from scratch like this, it was wintertime, and it took about 6 weeks for the SCOBY to form. As long as there's no mold growing on it, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with however long it takes, as long as there's no mold growing on it. There, it's in there. And just put your lid on there. The plastic lid, you can screw it on finger tight, but it doesn't seal like a canning jar lid will. So like I said, any of the gases that are created as this ferments can still escape through that lid. But I'm just going to put this in a warm place. You don't want it to be in direct sunlight, but you do want it to be someplace that is at least room temperature. Slightly warmer would be great if you can. You want to look for something between 70 and 80 degrees. 80 might be a little too hot, maybe between 70 and 75. But you just let this sit until the SCOBY forms. So I'm going to put this somewhere, and when that little baby SCOBY forms, I will come back and show you all what that looks like. If you haven't already, please remember to click that subscribe button down below and then click the bell icon right beside it so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified when that happens. Be sure to check out the description down below as well for links to all of our social media accounts. Thanks for watching.